Hello, my name is Jessica Shemka, and I'm speaking to you today on behalf of the American Heart Association in Wade Trim, where I'm a safety technician. Today we are live from the Carhartt Workshop in downtown Detroit. Thank you to the American Heart Association of Metro Detroit and Carhartt for allowing me to host this important Toolbox Talk conversation today. Your commitment to the community and the overall mission of the American Heart Association drives impactful change in our communities. The American Heart Association in Michigan is bringing hard hats with heart to several construction industry employers to provide resources, education, and inspiration to help employees live a heart-healthier lifestyle. The topic of today's Toolbox Talk is burnout in the construction industry. Many industries and workplace environments are subject to worker burnout. However, this issue can be even more prevalent in the construction industry. Workers and business owners in this industry should be mindful of burnout and overall workplace wellness. So what is burnout? Burnout is a condition in which individuals who are overworked develop symptoms of depression, as well as physical, mental, and/or emotional exhaustion as a result of stress related to their job or workplace. According to a recent Gallup study, 23% of full-time employees felt burned out at work very often or always, and another 44% felt burned out sometimes. Part 1. Workers in the construction industry are more vulnerable to burnout than in any other field, and for good reason. Long, irregular hours spent in dangerous work environments, along with the added stress of job insecurity, are major stressors. Not to mention, workers now face concerns about exposure to COVID-19. Nearly 60% of construction workers reported struggling with mental health, but only a third say they would communicate this to their employers. Their reasons for not telling their employer about their struggles include fear of embarrassment, a belief their employer wouldn't be able to help, and the fear it would negatively impact their career. The stigma around mental health discussions, particularly among men, who make up nearly 90% of the construction industry, causes individuals to resort to unhealthy coping mechanisms. But it's not just individual employees who are at risk. The mental health of your employees can affect your entire organization. Additionally, depression and anxiety, coupled with long workdays, can lead to a lack of sleep, a significant hazard on construction sites. The likelihood of accidents is even greater when exhaustion and mental absenteeism are in the equation. More mistakes increase the likelihood of accidents, resulting in more injuries and legal implications for your company. Poor mental health contributes to lost productivity in the workplace, such as a lack of focus on site and missed work due to sick days. Research shows there is a negative and significant correlation between job burnout and job performance, which can also negatively affect relationships between colleagues. Additionally, employees with mental health issues are twice as likely to be distracted on the job. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, depression causes an estimated 200 million lost workdays each year, costing organizations valuable money and time. Part 2, signs of burnout. I am now going to go over the physical, emotional, and behavior signs of burnout and what to look for. Here are some of the physical signs to recognize of burnout. Feeling tired and drained most of the time. Lowered immunity, frequent illnesses, frequent headaches or muscle pain, change in appetite or sleep habits. Here are the emotional symptoms to recognize of burnout. Sense of failure and self-doubt, feeling helpless, trapped, and defeated. Detachment, feeling alone in the world. Loss of motivation, increasingly cynical and negative outlook, decreased satisfaction and sense of accomplishment. Lastly, there are behavioral signs of burnout to look out for, such as withdrawing from responsibilities, isolating yourself from others, procrastinating, taking longer to get things done, using food, drugs, or alcohol to cope, taking out your frustrations on others, skipping work or coming in late and leaving early. It's super important that we recognize and acknowledge these signs before it's too late. Part 3, burnout versus stress. I know for some of you listening, burnout may sound a lot like stress, but there are some key differences between the two. Burnout may be the result of unrelenting stress, but it isn't the same as too much stress. Stress, by and large, involves too much. Too many pressures that demand too much of you physically and mentally. However, stressed people can still imagine that if they can get everything under control, they'll feel better. Burnout, on the other hand, is about not enough. Being burned out means feeling empty and mentally exhausted, devoid of motivation, and beyond caring. People experiencing burnout often don't see any hope of positive change in their situations. Part 4, the road to burnout. You may be on the road to burnout if every day is a bad day. Caring about your work or home life seems like a total waste of energy. You're exhausted all the time. The majority of your day is spent on tasks you find either mind-numbingly dull or overwhelming. You feel like nothing you do makes a difference or is appreciated. If you are experiencing this or any other signs, it's important that you see your healthcare provider. Part 5, the fix. Whether you recognize the warning signs of impending burnout or you're already past the breaking point, now is the time to pause and change direction by learning how you can help yourself overcome burnout and feel healthy and positive again. Dealing with burnout requires the 3R approach. Recognize. Watch for the warning signs of burnout. Reverse. Undo the damage by seeking support and managing stress. Resilience. Build your resilience to stress by taking care of your physical and emotional health. The following tips for preventing or dealing with burnout can help you cope with symptoms and regain your energy, focus, and sense of well-being. If symptoms continue, then we urge you to contact a healthcare professional. Tip number 1, turn to other people. Social contact is nature's antidote to stress, and talking face-to-face with a good listener is one of the fastest ways to calm your nervous system and relieve stress. The person you talk to doesn't have to be able to fix your stressors. They just have to be a good listener, someone who will listen attentively without becoming distracted or expressing judgment. Tip number 2, reframe the way you look at work. Whether you have a job that leaves you rushed off your feet or one that is monotonous and unfulfilling, the most effective way to combat job burnout is to quit and find a job you love instead. Of course, for many of us, changing a job or career is far from being a practical solution. We're grateful just to have work that pays the bills. Whatever your situation, though, there are steps you can still take to improve your state of mind. Try to find some value in your work. Even in some mundane jobs, you can often focus on how your role helps others, for example, or provide a much-needed product or service. Focus on aspects of the job that you do enjoy, even if it's just chatting with your coworkers at lunch. Changing your attitude towards your job can help you regain a sense of purpose and control. It's also important to find balance in your life. If you hate your job, look for meaning and satisfaction elsewhere in your life, in your family, friends, hobbies, or volunteer work. Focus on the parts of your life that bring you joy. Tip number 3, reevaluate your priorities. Burnout is an undeniable sign that something important in your life is not working. Take time to think about your hopes, goals, and dreams. Are you neglecting something that is truly important to you? This can be an opportunity to rediscover what really makes you happy and to slow down and give yourself time to rest, reflect, and heal. Tip number 4, move more. Make exercise a priority. Even though it may be the last thing you feel like doing when you're burned out, exercise is a powerful antidote. Aim to exercise for 30 minutes or more per day, or break that up into short 10-minute bursts of activity. Do you know a 10-minute walk can improve your mood for 2 hours? Tip number 5, last tip for today's Toolbox talk. Support your mood and energy levels with a heart-healthy diet. Remember, what you put in your body can have a huge impact on your mood and energy levels throughout the day. So minimize sugar and refined carbs. You may crave sugary snacks or comfort foods such as pasta or french fries, but these high carbohydrate foods quickly lead to a crash in mood and energy. Reduce your high intake of foods that can adversely affect your mood, such as caffeine, unhealthy fats, and foods with chemical preservatives or hormones. The American Heart Association recommends a heart-healthy diet. Meals can still be delicious and give you more energy when they have lower sodium and fat. You can find AHA-approved recipes and more available online at recipes.heart.org. This topic is one that is near and dear to my heart. When I was on a month-long harvest project from sunup to sundown, I kept myself going by making sure I was eating right and staying in touch with my family. Even if it was just a quick text or a late phone call, it was important to connect. Meal prepping was the only way I could manage my meals for the week. The location was out in the country, so without meal prepping, there wouldn't be any close options for a quick meal. The August sun was relentless, and heat and long days outside were exhausting. Luckily, the supervisor I had was good about making sure everyone got their guaranteed breaks, so this was huge in making it through the long days. I made sure to bring gallons of water and stay hydrated while out in the sun. 4 weeks of sun-baked physical labor was exhausting, but knowing there was an end gave me something to look forward to. A 4-day weekend was promised at the end of the project, and it was well earned by then. I worked with a great group, and I would do it again knowing that I had a team around me to help on the hard days. To keep from burning out, I knew it was important to keep in touch with my family, plan my meals, to stay hydrated, and work as a team. I set these personal goals for myself and made them my priority, even when working long days. Thank you to the American Heart Association of Metro Detroit and Carhartt for putting together this important Toolbox Talk conversation today. Your commitment to the community and the overall mission of the American Heart Association drives impactful change in our communities. It's important to keep in mind that burnout and stress can happen to anyone, but it is treatable. I hope that you walk away from today's presentation with some tools that you can use the next time you feel burnout or stress in your life. Remember, if symptoms continue or become unbearable, please contact your healthcare professional. If you would like to get in contact with me, email jshemka@wadetrim.com. Lastly, the American Heart Association is dedicated to sharing real stories. If you are a construction worker who would like to share your story of dealing with cardiac disease, mental health issues, depression, or stroke, you can send your story to ebony.bagley@heart.org. Have a wonderful day and stay safe, Detroit.